The date is July 10th, 1945. 12 pilots left Naval Air Station, Banana River, Florida at 7:07 p.m. for a radar training flight to Great Exuma, Bahamas. Their last report was sent at 1:16 a.m. The last thing they reported was their compasses malfunctioning on all 12 planes. Shortly after, there was no word of the pilots or the crash planes from an extensive 10-day surface and air search, but found no sign of the planes or pilots. Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, happens to be one of the most mysterious places on this planet. Located off the southeastern coast of the U.S. in the Atlantic Ocean, between Bermuda, Florida, and Puerto Rico, the region has become the center of unresolved mysteries. Covering an area of 440,000 miles of sea, Bermuda Triangle is part of a busy shipping route in the world, with a number of vessels heading to America, Europe, and the Caribbean crossing through every day. For decades, the Atlantic Ocean's fabled Bermuda Triangle has captured the human imagination with unexplained disappearances of ships, planes, and people. The triangle is responsible for 18 air and 14 sea cases, and probably more that aren't accounted for. The Bermuda Triangle spans from Fort Lauderdale to Puerto Rico to Bermuda. The Bermuda Triangle is one of the strangest places on Earth, claiming more disappearances than any other ocean. This raises the question of what makes the Bermuda Triangle claim so many disappearances. Possibly one of the most mysterious stories of shipwrecks, this ship is a tale of its own. Despite being found adrift in some other location in the Atlantic Ocean, the connection to the Bermuda Triangle had been somehow invoked to find an answer to the mystery of its fate. Discovered on 4th of December 1872 with everything right in place except for the entire crew, the ship was found stranded at seas days after it started its journey from New York to Genoa, Italy. There were 7 crew members, along with Captain Benjamin Briggs, his wife, and their 2-year-old daughter aboard the vessel, which was loaded with raw alcohol. But days after, when a passing British ship called DEI Gracia found the Mary Celeste under partial sail in the Atlantic, off the Azores Islands, the ship was unmanned with no crew aboard, and the lifeboat was also missing. It was also found that 9 of the barrels in the cargo were empty, and there was a sword on the deck. No trace of the people aboard the vessel or the missing lifeboat has ever been found. Studies of the ship clearly ruled out the possibility of a pirate attack, since everything on this ship, including the barrels of alcohol it was transporting and the valuable belongings of the crew, were intact. Theories surrounding the mystery of the Mary Celeste also included the chances of a criminal conspiracy, alien abduction, and even an attack by a giant squid. The possibility of a natural disaster was also on the list. Many suggested the role of an undersea earthquake behind the accident, while few proposed an accidental foraying of the vessel into the Bermuda Triangle. However, as much as these speculations seem reasonable, they clearly don't fit. After all, why would a perfectly skilled crew on a good weather day with their ship entirely uncompromised abandon it and then never surface again? One of the most popular theories floating around is that the Bermuda Triangle is a center of lots of paranormal activity. This would explain the disappearances around the triangle and the weird activity around the place. The stories around the Bermuda Triangle begins in the time of Christopher Columbus, when he reportedly saw a flame of fire crashing into the sea in the triangle during his first voyage to the New World. Columbus described the light in his log as a small wax candle that rose and lifted up, which for a few seconds seemed to be an indication of land. Author Gian Quasar explored the description during the series. He said in 2007, "The triangle's got a superstition of seafarers, and the enigma can be found as far back as Columbus's log. He was the first to sail the area, and he noted that on 3 occasions the compass pointed in the wrong direction, 11¼ degrees off from the evening reading from the morning reading, which was unexplainable. He also noted that the sea rose without any wind whatsoever, which shocked them all, and then on the eve of discovering the New World, an unexplained light levitated on the horizon and then rose up." However, historian Larry Couchet claims to have cracked the phenomenon. He said, "When they were crossing the ocean, they were legitimately afraid of what they were getting into because everybody thought the world was flat, and they were going to drop off at the edge." One of the stories is that Columbus saw a strange light at night. My research on that was Columbus did make a note in his log about a bright light overhead, and all historians have assumed that it was a meteorite. Another part of the story about Columbus is that the compass was acting strange. This was due to the heavy storm they were traveling through. Compass problems are one of the most cited phrases in many Bermuda Triangle incidents. From this story, it seems that something really is weird in the Bermuda Triangle, but could the triangle be explained to be just natural? This theory of methane gas is not a popular one, but one that has been suggested recently and could be a possibility. The theory suggests that around the Bermuda Triangle, the ocean there has deep pockets of methane gas slowly getting released over time. As many of you know, methane gas's side effect for breathing it in is the decrease of oxygen in the air. The effects of oxygen deficiency could kill you or knock you unconscious. This could be a cause of crashes of planes and maybe ships. It's the most logical and realistic idea. Also, methane gas could also lead to malfunctions in aircraft technology, frying the mechanics and sending the pilot to the bottom of the sea. Another possibility of methane gas in the ocean is an ocean floor explosion of all the methane gas, usually caused by an earthquake, landslide, or meteor. A theory suggests the explosion of methane gas is the cause of 95% of life from prehistorical times. Yes, you heard that right, methane gas explosions can lead to mass extinction. But obviously we aren't all dead, so a methane gas explosion of that size hasn't been a thing since prehistorical times. But the most recent small explosion took place at Lake Mills in the African nation of Cameroon. There was a huge eruption of CO2 gas that was stored in the lake that shot out 1.6 million tons of carbon dioxide from the waters of Lake Mills. When the gas shot out of the lake, it produced so much energy that it produced a gas water fountain out of the lake that was about 100 meters high, and all the land under the lake filled up with CO2 because of it being twice as heavy as oxygen. CO2 gas spilled down toward the towns where it killed people up to 16 miles away from the lake. For how sad that story is, it still wouldn't make sense, right? Well, I suggest a very small version of that eruption is the cause for most disappearances in the triangle. Linking back to the Mary Celeste, what if the crew saw this cloud in the air close to their ship? What if they knew their ship couldn't outrun the cloud? Maybe that explains why no crew member was on the ship. The U.S. Air Force is well known for maintaining a top-secret base for testing cutting-edge tech at Area 51 in the Nevada desert. Many may not know, however, how the Navy boasts its own version of Area 51. Very few of you may know that the U.S. government has a facility set up in the Bahamas that faces a deep ocean trench. This is known as the Underwater Area 51. The facility is known as the Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center. The United States Navy's Atlantic Undersea Test and Evaluation Center, AUTEC, is a laboratory that performs integrated three-dimensional hydrospace-aerospace trajectory measurements covering the entire spectrum of undersea simulated warfare, calibration, classifications, detection, and destruction. Its mission is to assist in establishing and maintaining naval ability of the United States through testing, evaluation, and underwater research. The U.S. Navy uses this to test underwater submarines and various weapons. Also, you would think that a place with so many disappearances would be acknowledged by the government, but it is not. The government says they see nothing weird about the place and that it's completely normal. Which is weird that the government never went to investigate the triangle, which would make sense if they were hiding something about the Bermuda Triangle. I also mentioned the fact that compasses tend to not work and point to the wrong areas while around the Bermuda Triangle. So what if the government is testing things around the triangle that are causing compasses to malfunction, or things that may have been even worse, which would be a really good reason to not acknowledge it? Even if these theories aren't true about the Bermuda Triangle, the place is still very weird and creepy, ranging from government testing to methane gas to even paranormal activity. The triangle is for sure one of the strangest places on Earth, and a place we might never be able to fully solve. I would say the Bermuda Triangle would be the scariest place to be if you are scared of the ocean. Even from researching about the methane gas explosions and the weird disappearances of ships and planes, I was actually creeped out. This topic was actually hard to research because of how many theories are on this topic, not including fake reports and news about the triangle. Something else I didn't mention in the video but I wanted to add is, the Bermuda Triangle lays right above the lost city of Atlantis. What if the Bermuda Triangle is cursed with a paranormal force that causes the many disappearances That would be very creepy because of the fact scientists might have actually found the remains of Atlantis on the ocean floor. The sad thing is that we may never know the true reason behind the Bermuda Triangle, and even if the government finds out, they still most likely won't tell us, similar to aliens. But that theory is for another video. Thanks for watching.